Greetings everyone and welcome to another Blu-ray and 4K update. This time around we got some additions to the Sword and Sandal and Sword and Sorcery collections, some of which are upgrades to editions I've had over the years, and others, some are pretty significant upgrades actually, and a few others are just brand new acquisitions, some movies that I've wanted in the collection for a while and saw that some nice additions had come out, so decided to grab them. So let's see what we got. Sword and Sandal and Sorcery, today on the Multimedia Chronicles. Welcome back. So a while back, I got this trio of movies from Twilight Time, the long defunct limited edition centric boutique label from a while back that was sold through screenarchives.com. Since then, Indicator Films, through, what is it, Powerhouse I think is the parent company, but anyway, Indicator Films, great boutique label out of the UK, put out new editions. They originally put out a box set, which was Region B locked, and I couldn't easily play other Region Blu-rays at the time, so I passed on that. But Indicator often does standard re-releases of their limited edition stuff that is not region locked. So while the old box set is long gone, good luck finding it. I'm sure, you can probably find it on the aftermarket somewhere, but expect to pay a pretty penny. I thought, well, let's just go with the regular editions. That's fine, because the regular editions are basically the same. You get all the same on-disc contents, but you miss out on, they usually include a booklet with the limited edition version. So you don't get the booklet, but you get all the disc-based content. So I thought, yeah, that's fine. That's good enough for me. Plus, the standalone releases tend to be really cheap. So it's actually a fairly budget-friendly upgrade. So what is it? What did I get? Well, starting off, we got the 7th Voyage of Sinbad. Yes, we got some Ray Harryhausen classics. I grew up with these movies, and they absolutely started my love of stop-motion animation and practical effects, along with Star Wars and everything, of course. But, having grown up watching Star Wars and such, it was really interesting to me to go back and watch these older films and see kind of the origins of a lot of the special effects techniques, especially the stop-motion stuff, that at the time were still being used and refined at the time. Actually, now that I think about it, that's almost a theme of this update. There's actually a lot of stop-motion centric stuff here. Anyway, 7th Voyage of Sinbad, which is great, from 1958. I've watched this one with Rose when she was younger, and she really enjoyed it. Some great stuff in here, some great classic Harryhausen creatures, and yeah, you can't go wrong with the old Sinbad movies. Speaking of the old Sinbad movies, we also got the Indicator edition of the Golden Voyage of Sinbad, which features Dr. Number 4, Tom Baker, as an evil sorcerer. Yeah, kind of cool to see him in a villain role. He's actually really good as a villain, I gotta say. So this is a really fun one as well. When did this come out? 1973, so it had been a while since there had been a Sinbad movie. But this is a really good one as well. Again, filled with lots of memorable creatures. We got like a Cyclops centaur and what else? Oh yeah, the statue and like the multi-armed statue and all kinds of cool stuff. This one we have, what is it? Got like a two-headed griffin, got another like Cyclops and kind of a dragon, and got some of the trademark killer skeletons and stuff like that. It's great. Great stuff. So much fun. I love those movies. And finally, we got the last of the Sinbad trilogy, Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. I think growing up, this is the one I ended up seeing the most, simply because it was repeated on television a lot. And, yeah, I've always really enjoyed this one. And I think another, Dr. Number 2, Patrick Troughton, is in this one. He was in a few Ray Harryhausen films, as I recall, and also got Jane Seymour, and yeah, this is great stuff. This was from 1977. So this, as I recall, was not considered the best of the Sinbad movies. I think that goes to kind of a toss up between these two, but I always enjoyed it, and I mean you can't go wrong with a bunch of Ray Harryhausen stuff, right? I think my introduction to Ray Harryhausen was actually the Clash of the Titans, which came out when I was 9, so perfect age to be seeing that. Got to see it in the theater. Absolutely loved it. I always really enjoyed that one. And so after seeing Clash of the Titans, it not only fostered my interest in stop motion animation and seeing a lot of these classic movies, but also was my introduction to Greek mythology and a lot of the wonderful stories and creatures from that. And I saw a lot of that kind of, Greek mythology stuff creeps into the Sinbad stories as well. So, you pair that with Clash of the Titans and Jason and the Argonauts, and you just got this great 5-movie cycle of classic monsters and whatnot from mythology. So great stuff. Next up, from I guess getting into the sword and sandal territory, we have from Mario Bava, actually, who is most well known for his giallo films. We have Erik the Conqueror, which I have never seen, so I'm really looking forward to checking this out. And actually, just generally speaking, I really need to get more Bava in my collection. I have precious few of his films. At some point, maybe in one of the upcoming Halloweens, I'd really like to hyper-focus on getting more giallo into the collection, because there's just so many great films out there that I'd love to check out. And certainly would like to get more from Mario Bava. So this one's from 1961. And yeah, basically, who is in that? Who does it say? The one thing I hate about indicator films, they don't give you like film credits on the back a lot of the time, so you don't get a lot of visual info about the film. But anyway, yeah. So this was kind of bought sight unseen. I trust the name of Mario Bava, and for whatever reason, considering how many films there are in the genre, there's not a lot on Blu-ray or 4K even of the sword and sandal genre. I mean, yeah, I've got those Mill Creek sets I did videos about a while back, like the Warriors collection, which has 50 of them in there, but there's just not a lot in high def. So when they put one out, I kind of want to just pounce on it because they're so rare to see them get the high def treatment. So take note, boutique labels. Let's see some more sword and sandal stuff, eh? And then next up, we have another one with good old Kirk Douglas, Ulisses. Yeah, talk about your Greek mythology being brought to life. Yeah, so we got the actual film version of Ulisses. Very cool. And this one's from Kino Lorber, and this was done in 1954. So yeah, stars Kirk Douglas and Silvana Mangiano. Anthony Quinn is in this, and a bunch of other people I don't know. But anyway, another one that I bought sight unseen because A, I love sword and sandal stuff, and B, I love Greek mythology, so no brainer. This had to come into the collection. So looking forward to checking that one out as well. Now, what you've all been waiting for. A pair of 4K releases, one of which I've been waiting a very long time for because it's been stuck in DVD land forever. First off, we have one of my childhood favorites. And speaking of stop motion, this was the film that pioneered the technique known as go motion. I'm of course talking about Dragonslayer. Yeah, one of the all-time greats from Disney's dark period in the early 80s. This was a co-production with Paramount Pictures. The 4K here has been put out by Paramount as well. Yes, it just skipped over Blu-ray entirely and went straight to 4K. Although, oh no, it doesn't actually include the Blu-ray. Yeah, it's 4K and digital code. So, yeah, there you go. But, yeah, wonderful to finally have this in some kind of high-def format. Yeah, really nothing. It's the same. I don't think it's a reversible cover or anything. No, it's just the same. Oh, well, that's okay. Really beautiful artwork, though, on that slipcover. I've seen this movie so many times. It was definitely one of my favorites growing up. I also had the comic book adaptation, and I read that many, many times. But, you know, if for nothing else, Vermithrax Pejorative, the dragon in this, still remains to this day one of the all-time great dragons ever put on screen. Absolutely incredible. And if you're wondering what the difference is between stop motion and go motion, well, good old Phil Tippett. Yes, a name you might know from Jurassic Park and RoboCop, and did his own big movie recently called Mad God, which I really need to pick that one up. But yeah, Phil Tippett is another one of the big pioneers of stop motion techniques. And in his case, he started to incorporate computer control into the process, whereas previously the way it would work is you'd take your little model and you'd move it a little bit, and then you'd snap a frame, and you'd move it again, you'd snap a frame, and just keep doing that until you have your sequence. But anybody who's seen the old stuff will know that one of the sort of trademark tells of stop motion is it kind of looks, there's a jerkiness to the motion that's just unavoidable because of how the technique works. So with go motion, you could program in the motions, like you could do all the motions, and then you would have a computer remember it, and then you'd have the computer do the motion, but snap the frame while it's moving, so you get that little bit of motion blur, which gives it a more natural kind of flow to the motion. So when you see the dragon effects in this, it's a combination of go motion and there's like a full-size dragon head that Peter MacNicol is, riding on, trying to stab him in the head and stuff, and model work and puppetry and stuff. It's just a whole like cornucopia of practical effects magic. It's incredible. Like, it's just amazing, and it still, as I say, remains to this day one of the best dragons ever put on screen. And if you want to see like just how good practical effects can be, this is one of the ones to check out, because it really did break a lot of new ground. I think they won some awards for the effects too. I don't know if it mentions it on the back here. Oscar nominated, so the effects were nominated. Oh, you know what? This came out in what, 1981? Yeah, okay, no, I guess I was thinking maybe it got overshadowed by Empire Strikes Back, but that was the previous year. Anyway, all-time favorite. And last, but certainly not least, we have one that, very squeaky chair, very direct entry into the sword and sorcery genre. We have The Sword and the Sorcerer, starring Matt Houston himself, Lee Horsley as the hero, with, you know how Krull had, it's like, there was this thing in the 80s about heroes, with fantasy heroes with cool special weapons. So Krull had the glaive, which was the spinning thing with the blades on the end and stuff like that. Well, this one, he has a triple-bladed sword that can shoot blades out of it. It can like shoot some of the sword blades out. So pretty cool. Now this was actually, this was kind of along the lines of Conan, where it was actually an R-rated horror movie, fantasy, dark fantasy movie, which, I miss. I wish we kind of had more of those again. Well, I guess we did with like Game of Thrones and stuff, but, more please. Can't get enough of it. But, yes, I remember seeing this when I was a kid, thinking like, oh, fantasy adventure movie, and it scared the shit out of me. And I actually don't think I've revisited it since. So this will be a confronting the childhood trauma experience in glorious 4K. Can't wait to check that out. So this is actually a Scream Factory release. Came out. I don't think this has a reversible cover either. Their 4Ks usually don't. Oh wait, it does. Hold on. What do we got here? Holy shit, we do have a reversible cover. I didn't even know. But look at that. Reversible cover. Very nice. So we're going to flip that around right now. I didn't even think to check, but a lot of the times they don't have that, but in this case they did. Usually they have the new artwork on the slipcover, and then you get the, you put the theatrical poster in the keep case. This time it's the other way around. I think this is actually new artwork, and this I recognize as the original poster art. Quite nice. So there we go, Sword and the Sorcerer, starring Matt Houston. A few years before he became Matt Houston. So let's, I don't know where we want to put these here. Let's put the 4Ks there, I guess. Alrighty, well that is it for this update. So some nice additions to the fantasy collection, some very welcome upgrades. I mean, the Twilight Time releases of these were terrific, but you know, these are more terrific. They have more stuff on them. So maybe I'll do a closer look at some time, and we'll kind of compare the Twilight Time editions to the Indicator editions. That could be interesting. So I'll think about that. And meanwhile, well, let's just actually see what we have for extras on these here. So yeah, so for Dragonslayer, we actually have commentary by director Matthew Robbins and Guillermo del Toro. How cool is that? Screen tests in high def, the Slayer of All Dragons in high def, and the original theatrical trailer in high def. Well, that's pretty cool. You don't often get like the trailers and stuff in high def, so that's pretty neat. And then Sword and the Sorcerer, we've got we actually have the 4K disc for the movie, and we also have a Blu-ray where most of the extras are. So we got an audio commentary with director Albert Pyun. Oh, I forgot he directed this. Yes, legendary genre film director Albert Pyun directed this one. How cool is that? So it's a new 4K scan from the original negative, and both the Blu-ray and 4K have that new transfer on them. We've got new interviews with actress Kathleen Beller, co-writer, co-producer John Stuckmeyer, editor Marshall Harvey, special makeup effects artist Alan A. Pone, and more. Trailers from Hell, Marshall Harvey on The Sword and the Sorcerer, theatrical trailers, and TV spot. And there we go. Very cool. So looking forward to checking that out. The others, I mean, we're going to do closer looks on these, so we'll just wait for that to go through all the extras. Ulysses, we've got audio commentary by film historian Tim Lucas. It includes both the Italian and English versions, which is nice when they do that. Alternate US opening titles in standard def. I guess they didn't have a high def source for those. And trailers. And then Erik the Conqueror. We have a brand new 2K restoration of the film from the original camera negative. Blu-ray 1080p and standard definition DVD presentations. Original Italian and English mono audio, which is lossless on the Blu-ray. Newly translated English subtitles for the Italian soundtrack. Optional English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing for the English soundtrack. New audio commentary by Tim Lucas, author of Mario Bava, All the Colors of the Dark. Audio interview with star Cameron Mitchell, conducted by Tim Lucas. Gli Imitatori, a comparison between Erik the Conqueror and the Vikings. Original ending. Reversible sleeve featuring original and newly commissioned artwork by Graham Humphreys. And there we go. Very cool. So all very nice additions indeed. My battery died just as I was doing the outro. How rude. Anyway, that is it from me to you for now. Hope you enjoyed. I will see you all next time. Until then, thanks for watching. And sayonara.